What's going on YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. Over this past weekend, COD Champs happened. New York Subliners won. And I don't think a lot of people in the Call of Duty community care too much. And that's because Call of Duty at this point in time is in a very disastrous spot. Now, I talked yesterday about how I don't think Call of Duty is worth saving, and that still reigns true because this franchise is so dedicated to its casual fan base that it's pushing away the hardcores, which is why COD Champs wasn't as successful as it could have been. And competitive Call of Duty in general is nowhere near where it could be. And that's frustrating because I actually want to see esports succeed. I'd like to see competitive Call of Duty succeed. But until the games get better and until you nurture a really hardcore fan base, competitive Call of Duty is just going to be stunted and it's never going to realize its full potential, which is very par for the course for the Call of Duty franchise because that's where we've been for the last several years. A franchise that won't realize its potential because the developers don't really seem to care to help this game progress. You know, there are a lot of complaints throughout the life cycle of this game, even from the pro players. Hell, this game made Scump retire. He was going to play until the end of this year and then decided that Modern Warfare 2 just wasn't for him. And I don't blame him because Scump doesn't have to play this nonsense. He's made enough money, he's done his bit, and he can go off into the sunset. But this interesting tweet came up yesterday on my timeline, and I decided to talk about it today. And I don't want to approach this solely from a competitive side, even though Breaking Point is a competitive Call of Duty Twitter. I want to instead look at it as a whole. I want to rank the last 4 Call of Duties from worst to best. Because frankly, this is a discussion I think worth having, considering the fact that Call of Duty has been down bad for several years now, at least in my opinion. And it all started with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, but that's not where this list starts. This list obviously starts with Call of Duty Vanguard. When we think of one of the worst titles we've ever seen in the Call of Duty franchise, we think of Call of Duty Vanguard. The difference between Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2 and even Modern Warfare 2019 is the fact that this game just never had potential, and the developers left it in a broken state for months and months and months and months. They imported the new shipment map and had fire wreak havoc throughout that entire map for months on end before they fixed it. On top of that, this game launched with a lot of content in theory, but when you actually played the game, you noticed how hollow the game truly was. It was a Modern Warfare 2019 clone. This was a reskin of Modern Warfare 2019, ported over and given a World War II setting. That's what the game was. It was very unenjoyable to play, it was very boring, and on top of that, it suffered from all the same problems that Modern Warfare 2019 suffered from and didn't build on the franchise in any way, shape, or form. It was a bad game that was extremely unenjoyable to play for everyone involved. I don't know whose idea it was to let Sledgehammer Games now also develop another Call of Duty, but Activision isn't one at making good decisions. Speaking of bad decisions, Modern Warfare 2. After the quote-unquote success of Modern Warfare 2019, Infinity Ward decided to move forward into remaking their iconic series and went with the iconic Modern Warfare 2 moniker. Now the thing was this game could have had a lot of potential. It could have utilized a lot of the assets from the original game, could have borrowed some of the maps, some of the operators. It could have made it feel more like 2009. Instead, what it did was it ported over a lot of the worst mechanics from Modern Warfare 2019 and brought it into this game. And unfortunately, it fell on deaf ears for a lot of members of this community. The hardcore community, even though this game sold well, felt that this game fell short. The game fell short for a numerous amount of reasons. They tried to be quote-unquote innovative by changing the perk system. That fell short for a lot of players. They also didn't have red dots on the map. There were a lot of problems with connectivity. There's still problems with hackers. This game is just a mess through and through, and at every stage that the community has tried to help this franchise out, has tried to help this game out, it has just boiled down to Activision and Infinity Ward not caring. Modern Warfare 2 probably could have been the strongest game on this list, but it never had the opportunity to achieve its full potential because the developers just simply didn't care to. They looked at this game as a pet project to see how far they could push this community until it hit the brink. And fortunately for a lot of us, we've hit our breaking point. We've hit the point where Call of Duty is now not on our playable list anymore. It's not a game we want to play. It's not a franchise we want to enjoy. The sad part is this franchise, this game, has catered so much to casuals that the casuals are still going to enjoy it. They're still going to play it. Not to mention the other issue with Modern Warfare 2 was the fact that they brought Warzone 2 into this game, and frankly, it fell on deaf ears. For a lot of people, it was a disappointment. It didn't live up to the hype of the original Warzone, and it just was an all-around disappointment. And now we see where Warzone 2 is, and it's basically reverted back to what the original Warzone was. I think they've even dropped the moniker of Warzone 2.0 at this point because, yeah, there's nothing 2.0 about it. Any innovation they made, they reverted for the most part. The number 2 game on this list, which is not something that this game should be proud of by any means. I guess it's better than the other 2 I mentioned, but Modern Warfare 2019. The only reason why this game is higher on the list is because it was at least somewhat competent. Yes, the map design was horrific in this game, but I still felt that as a title, as a complete Call of Duty experience, it delivered more than what Modern Warfare 2 did. And because of that, it actually jumps Modern Warfare 2. And on top of it, it realized some of its potential, right? I think that it had a lower potential than what Modern Warfare 2 did, so because it was able to inch closer to its full potential, I think that's why it's a little bit higher than Modern Warfare 2. But all in all, this game suffered from the same problems that every game that has taken this engine suffers from. The movement feels weird. It doesn't feel smooth. It doesn't feel fluid. There's something off about the tactical sprinting. There's something off about a lot of the game design that is surrounded by Modern Warfare 2019. And on top of it, the map design in this game held this game back to unknown measures. The one redeeming factor of Modern Warfare 2019, one thing I did thoroughly enjoy, was its gunfight mode. I thought that was a really nice addition to the Call of Duty franchise. But this was a big jarring change for the Call of Duty community, moving from Black Ops 4 to Modern Warfare 2019. And frankly, I feel like Infinity Ward fumbled the bag with this game. I think it could have been a lot better, but it missed the mark in so many ways just because it wasn't anywhere near how good Call of Duty used to be. It was a huge step backwards for the community, and we've never really been able to inch very close to what we used to have. Although the next game on this list really tried to inch closer to what Call of Duty used to be, and for me, Black Ops Cold War feels as close to a traditional Call of Duty experience as what we have on this list. And for that reason, Black Ops Cold War is the only game out of this set of 4 that I believe actually feels and plays like Call of Duty. Sure, some of the movement systems are a little bit goofy, but at least the movement feels fluid. The map design in this game is the best out of all 4 of these. The setting works. I really felt that the game had a little bit more of an identity than what we've had in the other games. You know, you don't have wolf costumes in Black Ops Cold War. No, nothing like that. I really felt that Treyarch did their best with what they were given. And I know there were great limitations on this game, and sometimes this game showcases its limitations. It still has the most goofy score streak system we've ever seen in Call of Duty, and frankly, it should have been fixed. Eliminations in general, for me, just should not be a part of Call of Duty. Part of the beauty of Call of Duty is yelling at yourself or the game for giving you assists all the time and noticing that you are dying a lot, but you're getting a lot of assists. You're doing fantastic. But that's neither here nor there. I felt Black Ops Cold War was the closest to its predecessors, and I felt that it actually did something to live up to the Black Ops name. I felt the zombies was half decent. I felt the campaign was fun. And all in all, to me, it felt like a more traditional Call of Duty experience. And I think a lot of that was predicated on the fact that it stripped away a lot of what Modern Warfare 2019 changed, and it went with the old formula. And I think it's a formula that works, and I think it's a formula that Call of Duty should go back to, because the current engine that they run Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2, and Vanguard on just isn't as good as what Black Ops Cold War was ran on. And again, that's my personal opinion, but I felt that there was a lot less connectivity issues. I felt that there was a lot more fluidity within the gameplay, and just in general, the game seem to function match to match. Now, there are still problems that plague Black Ops Cold War, and I'm not going to ignore that because I've talked about that ad nauseum on this channel before. So it is what it is. But when we compare them to the other 3 games on this list, Black Ops Cold War is miles ahead of the other 3 games. It's not even a competition here. And it's disappointing to say because I'd love to sit here and say that Call of Duty has been great for the last 4 years, but it just hasn't been. We've had one okay title out of 4. And that's just not something that this franchise should be proud of. But again, like I said in my video yesterday, there's no point in caring. There's no point in trying to change this franchise anymore because Call of Duty is simply not going to change. They've been able to curate and cater the game to this very casual fan base. And as that casual fan base grows, they're just going to get more money. So as much as I want to sit here and complain and give you my 2 cents about everything that needs to change in Modern Warfare 2 or in the Call of Duty franchise moving forward, as much as I want to believe a boycott might work, it just simply won't. And it's disappointing because I want to see Call of Duty prosper, and it just won't in its current state. It won't with its current mindset, with its current direction. So we're kind of left out here in the dust. Now, if I were to say anything else about Black Ops Cold War, just to finish off this commentary, I will say it was very exciting to watch that Call of Duty League season. I felt that that was one of my favorite games to watch. It was much more enjoyable than Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 2019 or Call of Duty Vanguard. And part of the reason for that is Dead Silence was a perk in Black Ops Cold War, so you didn't have people waiting out the Dead Silence ticker to go. I just felt, all in all, Black Ops Cold War was a superior game to these other 3, but I would love to hear your thoughts down below in that comment section. Was Black Ops Cold War a great game, or did it fall short of the mark? Did you feel that there was another game on this list that might have been your favorite over the last 4 years? At the end of the day, guys, I don't think we can look back at the last 4 years and be proud of the current state of Call of Duty, but at least we can reflect and say these things were good and these things were bad. And the only thing that I'm saying was kind of good was Black Ops Cold War, and the other 3 games were really bad. But that's it for today's video. I thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.